Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a farming vlog, first time vlogging. Took various clips of us in the shop. We went to Agra to buy some feed to take to the animals because the grazing season is a lot shorter. So we are currently paying for the feed at one part of the shop and going to the next slot to actually collect the bags. We're hoping by the time we did this, the security guards would have packed the maize and related things already. However, they told us you first need to bring a slippy before they can start picking. So we bought goat feed, pig feed, and a leaking block. And we also bought some vaccination medicine. So here, we're waiting for the guys to bring out the trolley with our bags so that we can load and go off to the farm. Had some things in the car. I head on Tungwa. I'm taking to the guys at the house because I've noticed their baskets are quite old, so I needed them to be able to just use a new basket. So I took one, and we had to undo the cover of the car for the guys to be able to throw in the bags. So this was quite pricey. The bags have gotten a bit pricey. So normally we used to buy one bag above just below 500, but now we are buying it above 500. So two bags are easily 1,000 and above, and this was about 2,000 to 3,000 if I'm not mistaken, because the medicine itself was already 1,000, and yeah, it's about 3,300 for just that small lot. But they last normally, because right now we're not feeding per se, we're just supplementing to make sure that when the goats come from the grazing area, we're giving them a little bit of a booster so they don't lose weight already early in the year. Yeah, so from here we're going to go to the next spot to just make sure that we pick up a bag of maize meal, pick up some essentials like body lotion and a bit of food that is missing in the house. So we asked the guy at the house to tell us what he's missing, and so he sent us a short list. So from here my husband is going to go into Metro, if I'm not mistaken, to just pick up some essential. So yes, come with us as we explore the day. So my role here is to just take clips and combine them later, and hopefully we get to put some meaningful video together. As I said, this is my first time doing this vlog type of things. Sometimes I'm filming my phone in the right angle, sometimes it's in the wrong angle, so bear with the footage that's gonna come out of this. Yes, so right now we are in Metro. I believe we are looking for soup packets, we are looking for rice, we are looking for washing powder, we are looking for body lotion, bar soap, and a few other things. And we managed to get everything here. Debated a little bit about what flavor of the soup packets to buy. I was in favor of the mince, and I realized that actually we can't buy mince because most of the time we buy these guys fish and they need to dry it, so it won't really be ideal to cook fish with a mince flavor. So settled for some other plain flavor and moved on from there. And yes, so I suppose that's about it from Metro, and the shop was pretty empty, but the tills were so slow. We had to wait a little bit in the shop, but after that we headed off to our next point, which was picking up the maize meal. So I had to do a bit of price comparison because it was quite expensive to buy 50 kg. Got distracted a little bit there. So yeah, we're checking out there. Like I've mentioned, the tills were really slow. We also got some cash back. It's always cheaper to get cash back in retail these days than actually drawing money directly. Yeah, so that's about it. I think there we were picking bar soaps, so confirming if he uses maybe a shower gel, a foam bath, or a hard bar soap. But many people in the north still use the bar soap. They last longer, especially in a farming environment. You don't want to run out of shower gel in the middle of the month. Got some washing powder. We're also confirming the type of lotion that he uses. but since he doesn't speak English, he couldn't really tell us the name of the body lotion, so we just took whatever looked like it's befitting for that type of environment. So yeah, so basically that's where we were in this part of the shop. Like I was saying, you see, I was doing a bit of a comparison for the maize meal. The maize meal that we saw in the shop were all about 500, but there was a cheaper shop that we could get a tentative 50 kg for about 495 or 450. So we rather opted not to buy the maize meal here and go buy it there, because it was in any case on our way out of the town, so we didn't have to like take a detour or anything. Yeah, so that's about it. I am going to continue with the next section. So basically, this project, we are doing it because we want to establish a traditional homestead. Currently, we don't have a fixed dwelling. We are just settling somewhere. And let me know when you have eventually gotten married whether you would consider having a traditional house. I must say it comes with a lot of expenses, but it's not monthly recurring expenses. Once you buy these things, these people tend to take care of the things and they tend to last longer. So you might do this every second to third month if your person is really good at taking care of their things. And again, that depends from person to person, and it shouldn't be a lot to do. So here he's on the phone with the farm worker trying to find out the specifics regarding the type of brands he uses, because you can't just buy someone random things. They need to be able to use them. So we've left Metro and currently are at the Millie place. We bought 10 kg of maize meal, and it was relatively cheaper here because they only specialize in selling maize meal, which was a really good thing. So from the maize meal, I think we just went and filled up, and we were at the house already, so we went to come and check on our onguti. We've recently gotten them, and they were about 12, so we've lost 3. One was eaten by a cat. The others, I think, died. We also brought some little chickens, so we are feeding them. Hopefully, it's just so that when we come and we want something to eat, we don't have to take from the shugunda. So here, we were actually going over to check on the pigs. But before then, I paused by to just double check regarding the nature, the condition of the mahangu. As you can see, the things are really sunburned. We plowed part of the field. It didn't subsequently rain, and therefore we didn't call the guy to come back again. And then we got some guys to weed part of the field, and we realized there is really no hope for the rain, so we told them to stop. So you can see it looks like we only plowed half, and that's because we really stopped the guys in the middle. So I've done a video on how to prepare for the drought season financially, but hopefully you do check up on your parents and assess the situation at home. The situation is not dire across board like for the village. In my mom's village, for example, they have a little bit of better grass, they have a little bit of better mahangu, but regardless, they're not gonna harvest that much. So me and little Maria here are walking to go check on the pigs. We have 4 pigs, and they are currently doing relatively okay. They are well fed. However, nothing is yet producing, so we're hoping to find a pregnant pig, but so far nothing else. But we only brought them in July here, especially the 2 white ones, large. I think one is a land race, one is a large white, so they're still relatively smallish, and hopefully by the end of the year or early next year we can start having some piglets. So the aim of the project really is just to keep the household busy, and hopefully it can also start generating some additional income, or we can actually use it for just meat during the December season. So what we had done this year is we had planted just a bit of mahangu on the one side, but on the larger portion of our land we had planted maize and green beans. and beans, actually, not the green variety, but just the variety that we normally grow up north. They did so well at germinating, but it didn't rain enough for them to actually branch out and put on fruits for us, or beans for us to actually harvest. So we are getting closer to that portion of the field where we grew beans, and it's really just looking dry. So basically, again, this has flopped. It was really a nice plan. We didn't want to grow just mahango for the sake of growing mahango. We wanted beans because apparently the bean stalks are used as goat feed, and we're hoping we would harvest beans and then sell the beans and then use the leftover for goat feed. But here we are, a whole portion of beans that has done nothing, absolutely nothing. Little Maria is still following me. She is my neighbor's child, and the neighbor left her with us so we can be busy. She's quite talkative, and I had good companion, and especially that we stayed here for a bit longer. It was actually nice to have someone that was inquisitive, asked so many questions, but kids, 5 minutes into the conversation, you are done with answering their questions. But other than that, it was nice having her. So we really just checked up on the beans. As you can see, we have all these beans, but there is nothing happening, no fruiting, nothing. So maybe if it does rain, we might still get some fruits out of them, but it's sort of pretty late at this stage because we are already approaching winter. All right, so that's about it from the beans operation. So really the main aim of this video is to show you that there really is a crop failure, and you shouldn't take it lightly. If you have pigs, goats, animals, try and start supplementing. On the other side of the fence, there is nothing that's happening at the moment. The owner of the land didn't plow, so our goats are currently using that for grazing pasture, and that is what we are currently relying on. But as you can see, the grass doesn't look thicker, it doesn't look longer, so it's also not going to last that long, but at least it's going to feed just in the meantime whilst we sort out the feeding program. So yes, that was about it from the field. We've moved on to the goats. We went to go check on the kids. I don't know what it's actually. Ticks. There's a lot of ticks this year. Apparently when there is no rain, ticks multiply a lot. They attack all sorts of animals. So this one is limping because of the tips. So my husband is really just attending to it, putting on tick whatever that medicine is, but we need to get something more severe, and something that can help the goats. So someone suggested a dip where we would put it in water, and then we should be able to use it to dip the animals in, and then they can at least fend off the ticks. That way is much faster. But for now, we're putting the tick medicine when we see an infected goat. Maria there doesn't understand why the goat needs to scream, why the goat's in pain. So she's busy petting. She's just got distracted, tried to go play with the other kids. We've gotten 5 in the last month or so. And we still have some expecting goats. So hopefully we end off the season with a little bit more. But that means we need to do a little bit more in terms of feeding, because if you have breastfeeding goats, they need more supplements, and with the grazing getting a lot shorter than expected, that means we will have to feed a lot earlier. So again, here we just let the brown thing on the rock. The white thing is the salt licks that the goat licks on. The brown thing is another type of lick, but this one they can actually chew. So the brown thing we bought today, the salt we brought last time. So in the green bucket is goat feed that was left, that we put in this morning. It got a bit of water damage earlier, but it can still be consumed. But the goats sort of forgot how to eat it or something, so they left a bit of it, but we'll just leave it there until they finish. When they come back from grazing, they will eventually finish it. So yeah, so that's about it really from the goats. Again, here we are just checking again. My husband is trying to catch another one to see if maybe there's another one that has tick that is not limping, but it was only one that we really found. The rest seemed to be okay, and we didn't have to proceed with ticks application. So really the main operation would come from the big goats a little bit later. So these ones are less than a month, so they were just born in the last couple of weeks, and they are relatively okay. Yes, again, the purpose of this video really is just to show the farming operation that we're doing here, really just on a small scale learning. We've suffered quite a bit of a loss last year. We've had goats eat mahangu grains, and we didn't know that was disastrous. If goats eat mahangu grain and they go sit in the belly and you feed those goats water, they actually go and the mahangu ferments inside the belly, the stomach of the goat swell up, and the goat will eventually die. So we lost about 7 goats from that process. A mahangu bursts and the worker wasn't at home, and there was a catastrophic loss. So we're hoping that these kids would then actually replace their mothers and we can resume. But that's the nature of business, or the nature of anything. If you don't take a risk, you don't learn. So the goats are back in the kraal. It's later during the day. We got here with the main aim of vaccinating the goats, but we got here during midday. It was already sunny, so we opted to come vaccinate them later in the day. So we're catching them one by one, and what we're trying to do is shave some of them that are a bit furry because of all these ticks. The ticks, if the goat is very furry, has a lot of hair, the ticks just goes and hide in underneath the hair. So we are currently shaving some of them, especially in the backbone, because that's where the ticks attack the most, just to expose the area, and also it makes it easier for the application of the tick medicine. So not all of them requires to be shaved. There's only a few breeds in there that has a lot of hair and that has that problem. So it's like, shaving and applying the ticks. As we're going on, we actually realized that the ticks are quite severe, so we really do need to get this dip as soon as we can. So yeah, you can buy the shaving scissor in Agra. They normally sell them there, relatively priced, not too expensive, and you must try and see if that is something your goats also need. So on the kraal is Tangeni, who helps us with the goats, and my neighbor's guy that came with Maria to assist. So they're just helping. And what I like about a lot of villages in the north, people really help each other. You barely do a task on your own because people know that tomorrow is you and today is the next person. So I don't know if you can see the green bucket there. You can see this, it's filled now with water. My husband put some multivitamins for the goats to also drink. So because we might not be here for the next 3 or 4 months, we need to make sure that we do as much as we can within the day that we're here to just try and revive the operation. So yeah, it took a bit of time, so I lost interest in the cutting process. One goat was taking longer to shave, and obviously I don't have that much patience. But yeah, so the clips are quite random. So the aim is to shave, apply tick medicine, vaccinate, and then castrate 1 or 2 male goats that needs to be castrated. But we only managed to do 1 because of the fact that the other one had a lot of ticks, and we felt like if we did castrate it with that many ticks, it might actually get into severe pain. So we rather just treated the ticks and maybe castrate it the next time we get there. So yeah, so really that was about it. At this point in time, I was just there, super tired, waiting to go back home because we've been here for nearly the whole day. We got here we actually left home around 9. We only came back at 10 in the evening. On the foot the whole day. Okay, but I had to go to the neighbor's house to just go nap because I lost interest in all of this. So yeah, I came back in the afternoon for the operation to continue. Yes, so yeah, we are doing relatively okay. We have the bull goats and we have the mixed breed. Most of these things came from the wedding process. The others we bought, and yeah, it was really just that. So why did we get into goat farming? It is a way for us to learn about animal management. I really like the scale of the project because it's much easier to manage, and it's also easier to learn from the flock that you have before you scale up. At some stage, we would want to grow this project because there is really a market for it. But we need to start off small so we can learn and make mistakes while we're still small. So currently the shaving is done. He is filling up the taking the needles so that he can vaccinate the animals. We bought 2 needles and we got 1 bottle of Multivax Plus that we were vaccinating the goats with. So my camera is not really focused, but what is busy with is really measuring the dosage for the goats, and then obviously then giving the vaccine. For some odd reason they're doing it through the neck, which I really think it's quite painful, but it looks like it's maybe the easiest place to administer. Coming out of this, I really don't know, so I'm just here for moral support. And yes, so basically we had to repeat that process on all the goat. It was really long. They had to catch the goat, vaccinate, shave, catch the goat, vaccinate, apply. Oh, that goat, sorry, getting distracted. That small goat there that looks a bit the white one that looks a bit less with fur, we actually rescued it from severe hunger. The mother passed away from the chaotic of the Mahangu grain saga, and she survived quite at an early age, so we had to bottle feed him, but he's doing relatively okay. Looks like he's now shedding off old hair and growing new hair. So basically that's the process of catching the goats. There is no other easier way. We don't have a place where we can or drive them and then they will get caught. So we repeated that process. Catch a goat, shave it, apply tick medicine, and then vaccinate. So that was about it from the farming trip. I really can't say I enjoyed it. It was tiring, but it was fulfilling. As you can see, the white gap on top of that goat, if you can see properly, it's actually a tick damage. There is really a lot of tick. When I went to speak to my mother and my granny, they are also saying there's quite a lot of ticks everywhere, and it's apparently because of low rainfalls. So do check up on your animals. Don't just assume things are okay, and all the best with that. So other than that, I am tapping out. I don't know if I enjoyed this vlogging business, but it is something that I would do more often, especially with regards to farming related activities, because that requires physical footage, not like the type of content I do. So all the best with your farming ventures, and you will only learn by trial and error. We are picking up as we go. It is something that we're interested in, and it is something that we're willing to grow. Until next time, it is goodbye. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with an upcoming farmer, or actually drop in the comment section below what advice would you give someone that is just starting to farm, and what are some of the tricks and hacks that you have regarding animal management, because it looks like it is not as simple as ABC. So again, it is goodbye, and thank you for checking in. Until next time, stay safe.